a bit high before getting down for the peg. You need to drop it from your wrist down slightly faster to get that rhythm in.
The time was good, 0.79.
So there's a lot of technique to this. You don't see it, but there's a lot of technique. It's all about balance. The hand-eye coordination's all got to be right. There's a lot of technique to that, and there's a lot of coaches out there coaching these riders. And yes, you see this, and I think they make those mistakes slightly because they're on different horses. They're feeling slightly imbalanced at certain times. But yeah, we're seeing the Saudis actually adapting to that faster than us at this stage.
That was what I was about to say. You know, the reality is not one of the riders here are riding their own horses.
Yes.
So it's all about adapting.
You're
And
quite
just
right.
look at that perfect run there. It's
Yeah.
all about adapting. And the sooner and the quicker a rider adapts and gels with his horse, the sooner he becomes competitive.
You're right.
And that is why this is a World Championships. You find that the top riders in the world are attending here, and they are here. And we are actually seeing that in the way that they ride, their balance. And so it's all about adapting.
Everybody's
And
technique
just
is
look
not
at
the
that
same.
same, but the balance and the precision of which what they use is unbelievable. And any 10-pegging connoisseur must really appreciate this.
You're
Every
right,
single
you're right.
run passing, you know.
Yeah, we were mentioning that Johan's probably used to a slightly bigger horse. And well, you can say all the others have probably also got the same thing, and they're adapting maybe a bit faster than us at this stage of the game. Look at that, great pegging, eh? Making it look easy. And traditionally, this is where the South Africans are good, and we seem to be falling behind here for some reason.
Well, one just needs to appreciate the quality of the field out there.
You're quite right.
And that's what it's about. You know,
the same thing,
there has to be a winner,
faster than us.
but one needs to enjoy the quality of the 10-pegging that's being dished up for the whole world today.
Yes, I'm totally agreeing with
it's
you.
really exceptional.
No, I'm totally agreeing with you. It's been brilliant to see. We've actually been excited about other teams at stages, and
Correct.
as patriots of South African patriots, you wouldn't feel like it. You've actually been excited about what you're seeing. The sport's moving forward fast. Remember, relatively smaller sport in South Africa, but it draws huge attractions in the Middle East, in Asia, and they love it there. And in Pakistan and India, it's sort of embraced in their culture,
Wow.
Yeah, that's the first miss by Omani, one of the Omani riders. I think that's number 3 for Oman. That's Ahed Al-Balushi. Ahed. He's of the 3 or 4 riders, he's looked maybe the least balanced on his horse, am I right?
True.
I mean, it's probably showing now when at the peg.
We're talking about crowds now, and I'm just thinking back quickly when I represented South
Pakistan and
Africa
India,
in
it's
Pakistan
sort
in
of embraced in their
2013 as a master. We were performing before crowds of 25,000. 25,000. It was the most unbelievable experience I've had in my life.
Yes, it's crazy to think that. It's crazy to
It's
think
unbelievable, and the crowds are right next to the horses.
Yes.
It's really, you feel part of the whole competition. It's unbelievable.
Yeah,
But
great,
let's
great.
commentate on
our
what
4th
we're
rider
seeing.
from Oman, Safwan. Safwan, as we said yesterday, he was the top rider yesterday. He won the gold medal in individuals for day 2.
And he's doing it again.
And he's doing it again. I think he had a bit of a blip at rings, so he's not going to be too happy with himself. But he's been consistent. He hasn't had the fastest horse. He's been prepared to take the speed point on the chin and just take the objects. And that's where he's been good. Because it's all about consistency over 3 days. You might not be full every day, but if you're just consistent, you're always in the mix. And that's the secret for the whole team, isn't it? Just to be consistent through.
And it's often better to rather sacrifice speed points for speed here and there than try and push the horse and miss objects.
You're right. You're 100% correct. Yeah. And I think that's a lesson all these countries are learning. They've learned. That was a trait, South African trait. And they've sort of picked up on that. That it's not all about speed and image. It's about points, consistent points.
Points, yeah.
That's our first Yemenese rider coming through, Abdullah Maghribi. as we were saying earlier, also they, I think they were expecting a little bit better of themselves, so they're a bit down in the dumps. But yeah, they'll come back because this will be a good experience because they've got two very young riders, probably two of the youngest riders at the World Champs. So looking forward, I mean, they've got another 10 years in them of international riding, so they would have learned a lot from this.
Correct, and that's gonna mean a lot for the country going forward.
Yes, and I mean the conditions today, they definitely wouldn't be used to where they come from. I mean, they pretty much ride in arid country, so this will be definitely something that they're not used to.
I saw that peg move, so I think that could be a possible
strike.
On the peg, a possible strike.
Yes, I agree. Possible. They're not. It definitely is a strike. Judge Fahad Hussain there from Qatar. Good. He actually has the peg marked, so you can also go and appeal a peg. You can review a peg on. So the managers, if they feel that they've been done an injustice, they can always go back and have a look, and it's actually marked and put in a box, and can be reviewed if it needs to be reviewed. As you said, the sport evolves very quickly.
Yeah, but
all these checks and balances are always in place.
But that just makes it so much more even and so much more
transparent.
Transparent. That's the word I'm looking for. Transparent.
You're quite right. You're quite right. And this is a young rider. I see a future in him. Very balanced on a horse. Osama.
Well done.
As I mentioned, we were at the General Assembly in Muscat when they had the qualifier. And yeah, he impressed me. I mean, he won all 3 days there. More his type of terrain, so he was comfortable there. But I think he's got a great future. I mean, I don't think he's 20 yet.
He's very stable in the saddle.
Very stable in the saddle.
Yeah.
He rides. He's very balanced.
Yeah.
You actually see the quality oozing out of him.
Yeah.
So he's definitely someone to watch for the future. And yeah, the rider coming up the next. His name's Abdulaziz Omar. Abdulaziz, same. Also a young rider, so there's a future there. And your men have come with a plan. You know, they might not be winning it, but they definitely see a future. And especially from a country, you know, they've got the internal problems as well. Difficult for them to get out here. I mean, they need to go all the way to Saudi to get their visas. So difficult process just to get to South Africa.
Yeah.
5.92, so that also was quite fast.
Quite quick, eh?
He was quick. He was really quick. 5.2 over the 70 meters, so he was really quick.
Ladies and gentlemen, and now the rain is coming down again. And the wind is blowing again.
Yes. We're going to have this in patches, I think, and we're getting wet again.
And we're getting wet again.
Yeah. So we know what the riders, I don't know what the riders feel like, but we know what, we've got sort of an opinion on what they feel like.
Yeah.
But I suppose all part of the sport.
By the end of the day, we would have also gone through the whole mix.
Yes, we would have gone through the mix. They can't tell us anything about the weather when we finished here.
No, we've been out there with them all along.
Yeah. Just waiting for a bit of a gap or a sunny gap somewhere. All our VIPs nicely snug under the tent, having a good smile at us.
I would die for a cup of coffee.
Yeah, I think so. They don't want to give us a break here.
Yeah.
We've also, you'll see there's a lot of ground jury around. We've got track judges, some timekeeping, checking on the time meters. So 13 jurors in all nearly. 9 actually on the track and then the appeal committee. There we go,
well
beautiful
done.
run. That's your team there,
That's
Anas.
my Norwegian
that's
team
the Norwegian
there.
team, yeah.
And that was a full run.
Full run. Wow. They're coming right this morning, eh? They're having a field day this morning.
Very well,
Great.
very well. Horses are doing well. The riders are doing well. Well done.
And then on the track, we failed to mention, we've got our organising committee chairperson, Gerald Minard, doing a swirling job. He's standing in the rain. He's been there for 3 days, checking that everything runs in place. Not an easy job.
Not at all. But the organising committee has been very involved for the past 3 or 4 months.
You're quite right.
Organising this event. Yourself, many people involved, enabling the rest of the world to just enjoy this World Championships with.
Next we have our team from
Yes, no, you're quite
everybody
right.
else.
Well, I think we've got the support of the South African riders, and that's what's important. You know, our South African Tenping Association come to the party, and they've really made this event possible.
That was rider number 27,
Hard lines there.
The hard lines there. He missed the peg.
You're right.
But the horse was also slightly quicker, I thought.
Yes, you're quite right. Quite a bit quicker than it's been the whole morning.
Yeah.
Next,
So maybe caught him a bit off guard. Plus the wind's pushing up against her. You know
Yeah.
the technique in the wind. As South Africans know, you've got to lean a bit more forward.
You
As soon
have
as
to
you
lean
went back,
forward.
you get caught. You get caught.
Yeah.
And Lemons is is a rhythmic event. If you're not in rhythm, because it's all about muscle memory and rhythm, and if you get caught behind your balance point, then you don't seem to get down fast enough for the pig.
The wind has such a huge effect on your balance. You know, if
You're right.
if you don't catch the wind properly, your balance is not right, and then the whole run is a disaster.
You're quite right. So you've actually got to make a point of leaning forward into the
Leaning
wind.
slightly forward in
into
the wind,
yes.
to just make sure that your balance is right, because
adjust.
this item is all about balance and rhythm.
Yeah, and then you tend to put a jacket on as well, which pulls you
Yeah.
back even further if you're not used to it, especially for countries that aren't used to riding in the wind or riding in
Correct.
such weather conditions.
Yeah, many of our riders, they would rather die of cold. They won't wear a jacket
You're
because
right.
they feel the jacket
Imbalances them, yeah.
imbalances
Imbalances them, yeah. You're
Yeah.
quite right. That was Marie Bucker, also of your team
Also,
there. Anas,
yes, yes.
yeah. You know much about her background, Anna? So she let you know where, what, how?
Yes, she's actually up in the northern side of Norway, and she's involved with equestrian, running a yard there and working with the horses.
Oh, so she's got
So
permanently with horses.
So she's really from a horsey industry, enjoying herself tremendously in South Africa. And
great to hear.
Yeah.
And what are their
and
thoughts? What are their thoughts been on the world champs?
No, they've
Feedback from them.
They've learned a lot, and obviously coming from Pakistani and Saudi backgrounds, you know, where they've had some coaching, you can see that their quality is starting to come through. Obviously, they're working on their numbers, so they want more numbers, you know, and then obviously that you can see one or two of their riders are less experienced. But these are things that will pick up in the future, you
quite
know,
right,
and that's
you're quite
going to, and
Thanks,
that's
Rider number 13,
another
Norway,
country
Hussein.
doing 10 pegging. So wow,
Yes, yeah,
we're so
great,
excited about that.
Yes, yeah. And remember, half the year they probably snowed down. So in countries like Norway, so they've only got sort of 6 months to get
Oh,
themselves prepared.
Did you see those nice lemons that he's just cut?
Yes,
Perfect.
no, he cut them
Perfectly.
well.
Cut them beautifully.
Yeah. But we mentioned
Must-
before in the
must the
rings,
peg,
yeah.
yeah.
Just his balance at the peg, I think.
Yeah,
that lets
yeah,
him
yeah.
down.
It's just about balance.
That's about the balance.
But
at the
yes,
peg.
they were also mentioning that they can only ride 3 months a year. The rest is
Next is,
the
Team
weather is not
India.
very good,
Yeah.
you know.
Next is
So
Team India.
and then it's basically
second,
sunny
for the day so
skies
far.
type of thing.
Yes, yes, yes. I
So
suppose a
very
disadvantage in those
challenging,
countries is that is space. 'Cause,
Yes,
you
yeah.
know, you might have an arena, but
And the
pegging,
weather.
pegging needs a bit more space in
Space,
your
yeah.
arena to practice in. So
Total
you're a bit
score
limited for those 3
54
months.
for Norway.
So it does make it difficult for them. But Europe coming in nicely.
Yeah, very
We've got
much
the Germans there, we've got the Poles there, also all coming into tent pegging. The Great Britain are actually involved in developing that part of the world, and it's going very well. And here's the Indians.
Well done.
If we go back to those scores, these Indians are close on again.
7.06
There we go. I mean, full house, and they were rings. They were nearly full housing.
Yeah.
So they're definitely looking at. They're definitely coming up to. Oh, they're only 4 points behind. What did we say? That India were 4 points behind Pakistan, or Saudi were 4 points ahead of Pakistan, and India. They're only 12 points behind.
12 points.
So that's a
12
full
points.
house there.
That was a full house.
And
Yes.
Saudi had the one glitch of about 6 points. I
6
think.
points, yeah. So,
So,
yeah, we are viewing the Indian team now, and obviously they are one of the contending teams. They are lying in overall third position with a total of 402 points, and they've just had a perfect run. So lining up there is their second rider. I'm going to talk you through
Yeah,
the
Ahmed Chetty.
lemons.
Ahmed Chetty. Yeah.
And Yari's coming. Let's see what he does. Oops, 6. And
Great.
6.
Yes. 6. They're 18 points. Oh, they've been consistent.
My heart nearly had a glimpse because the first lemon it looked like a bit of the skin that dropped.
Yes, yeah.
It was him, number
Yeah, you're right, you're right.
18.
Even the second one, he seemed to hit on the top slightly too. So
yeah.
it was bottom of the first, top of the second.
Second one, yeah.
But 6 is a 6, as long as the
that
scan
was
is
worth
cut.
18 points to the team.
Yes, brilliant riding by India. I mean,
Yeah.
54 points.
there's two
That
runs
is
through
two
and they're
runs.
full. They're
Oi,
full
oi,
so
oi.
far. So I mean, they'll if they can go through full, yeah, they can catch up 6 points, and they'll only be 6 points behind with one event to go. This is going to get close.
Oi, oi, oi. Now
So,
you're talking.
This is going to get close.
This is really exciting, ladies and gentlemen. We are really lining ourselves up for a brilliant finish when we do the team relay event, depending on how lemons are going to pan out. But we can already see that there's exciting stuff happening here, and we've still got Pakistan to come.
And we've got the 4 centimeter peg. Don't forget
Yes,
that. That's going to
yes.
sort of separate the mice from the men, the proverbial mice from the men there. So that 4 centimeter is going to be, because now they're going to be under pressure. These 3 countries are going to know they're in the mix.
Yeah.
And
And they know that already, eh?
Pakistan's biggest pressure, I think, is going to come from the grandstand. The High Commissioner's just arrived to watch them. The president's come to watch them. So they're definitely going to be feeling the pressure.
That was a 6-6. And
Brilliant. There we go.
Brilliant.
Another full house. That's
three
3
in a
full
row.
houses. 3 full houses.
3 in a row.
The 100%. And well done to India. I think they prepared well. We saw them when they arrived. I said to you, they're one of the teams that impressed me.
Horse rider for India.
Very professional outfit.
Mohammed Abari.
Colonel Solanki runs a very professional outfit. He's the manager coach there for that team, and he's been a consistent manager coach over the last 2 or 3 years. So he's very experienced at doing what he does.
Yeah.
You know. So good times for India, and I hope they reap the rewards for that. 4th rider, he's probably feeling it a bit. His 3 riders have taken full houses. I know how that feels. That being the number 4 rider in the team, got to sort of bring up the rear.
You've been there, I've been there.
Yes,
It's the
it's the doldrums. It's the doldrums.
That's the worst to line up, and you know everything comes down to you.
Yeah,
Eh?
you're right. Your first rider's got to set the example, and your 4th rider, he's got to make sure the example is kept up with.
True.
So yeah,
Let's see what happens.
a bit of nerves there. You see the horse. This horse
yeah,
usually
the
doesn't
horse
do that.
is nervous.
So he's a bit nervous.
Yeah, there it comes.
We can expect it. Oh, 6 looks good. There's a bit of a bump. They'll check it. There we go. There we are, man. Even a bit of a shout in Rejoice there. He knows.
It seems
got
that
it.
the lemons were cut properly and the peg is carried.
9.28.
Looks like the judge is happy. He's not even going to go look at that first one. I thought they might have a look at it. But no, he's happy. He's seen the scene. As I said, that's rough
That's
fight.
a full run for them, eh?
Full run. Full score over 4 riders. Well done. Very well done.
72 points.
Very well done. There, even the announcer saying 4 points.
That's what
Top
you need
score.
on this level, Brendan. You need to,
Yeah.
when it's time to perform, you must step up and perform.
I agree with you, Honest. I agree with you. That's what needs to be done.
59.
That's commonly called that BMT, eh?
Yes, BMT. You're
Yeah,
quite
yeah.
correct.
That
BMT.
big match temperament, eh?
Big match temperament. Yeah.
Well done to India.
Yeah.
Team India, well done.
Egypt also still there in the mix. Where they're sitting 4th there, Honest.
Yeah, it just
On overall
seems,
scores.
it just seems that that Egypt has fallen slightly back. I expected them to do better in the rings.
I think you're right. Yeah, I think you're
And
right.
they disappointed.
Yeah.
You know, I think they disappointed themselves as well. I know them to be very competitive, so nothing happens intentionally.
Yes, yes.
But yes, let's see.
There we go.
There we go.
Now have a look. I see he's going to put a jacket on. As all
Yeah.
the rest of his team haven't. So it's quite interesting how they feel comfortable. Remember we were talking about it earlier.
Yeah,
Some of South Africa won't put a jacket on even in the cold because you don't want to be imbalanced. But their number 1 rider, he's put his jacket on. But the rest are keeping clean, if I could put it that way. They're
True,
coming
Number
out.
40.
But a full house, first up.
yeah.
Full house.
That would be one that that the team would really like.
That's Mustafa Idris. Well done to Mustafa. He's the one, unfortunately, Mr. Lemon, the ring at the first run, and he might have put the team under pressure a bit there. And as a result, they didn't perform as well.
That's
doing
the
that.
second rider.
We'll have a look at that second one. You see it's rolling towards the peg.
Yeah.
That's usually a good indication. He's a bit slow too,
Yeah.
so I'm sure he's going to
Let's
incur
see
some
what
time
the-
faults.
Let's see what the lemons mount up to.
0.5.
Going to have a good look at it. When they look at it like that, you know the writing's normally on the wall. Second opinion. The first one's also been brought up on us.
Yeah.
That'll be very interesting. They'll
And they're
call the
turning
scores.
them around and looking for cut marks.
Yes, I remember we said to you the skin of the lemon must be cut, but it looks like that first one I sort of saw cut from far. 606.
11.
So they've given a 0, they'll mark it and put it in the box. Unfortunately, there it was close. That means it's
It
close. But no mark is no points. It's as simple as that.
Really, that's the way it works. Luckily, we were talking earlier the way the sport has evolved. Previously, there were lesser officials. Nowadays, there's a lot of officials, and you get a very consistent scoring because of all the input.
You're right. What was interesting there, Anas, I saw on the second run there, he's rejoicing. In the rules, there's a down cut not allowed.
Correct.
And that seemed very close to a down cut for me. You're not allowed to down
me
cut
as
lemon.
well. To me as well.
Doesn't look like the jury have been bothered much by that, but I'd love to see a review of that because it
Yeah.
looked like very similar to a down cut.
Well, I was watching as the horse was the horse was pulling quite good.
They're checking interrupting me. They're checking. I seem to have a mark, so no, it looks fine. They don't seem to be perturbed. I think from my angle, as a coach / judge, it sort of stuck out at me. There's a down cut there, and they didn't seem bothered about it.
Only commentators,
As far
you
as
know.
we can't put our hands up here and say, listen, don't you want to review that for us? Kyk weer.
But to the viewers out there, that was a good example of a down cut.
Yes, I think that's a down cut, but we'll leave it up to them. We it's only our opinions, yeah. It's not what should be there. First cut, second cut. Also a bit choppy on it, but yeah, 6 is 6. Horse is running very smoothly, very fast, brilliant.
6.19.
6.19, he's got 7.5 seconds. Well within the time. Clear cut, one of the organising committee just thrown the lemon over towards the side near where we're sitting. You can see the clear cuts on the lemon.
Yeah.
So nothing bad there. But yeah, we were chatting about that down cut. Would be good to see a review of that.
Yeah.
Maybe we at some stage in the sport we could sort of have a TV look at it, action replay.
Yeah.
The judge could have a look, say, listen, let's have a look at that.
If the sport evolves slightly more, you know.
Yes.
We can move in
Yeah.
that direction.
When everything is on the big screen, the crowd might tell you to review it. Yeah, but brilliant. We're at the George Show. Besides the conditions early this morning, it's actually warmed up now again. It's periodically doing that. Pakistan, here's our team. We've got they've been consistent. Another 18 points coming through there.
Yeah, well
Another
done.
18 points coming through there. Brilliant. Yeah, brilliant.
Makes it look so easy.
Makes it look so easy. And yes, they want to keep the lead. What did we say? Pakistan, Saudi 4.4. Pakistan were down. Saudi were down a few points. I think we said 6 points, did we not?
Yeah.
So Pakistan are up there. Let's have a look.
Pakistan is up there now.
I think there might be a lead change. I'm putting money on it. Honest, what do you say? I don't want to put your money down yet.
I think India. You cannot throw them out. You cannot ignore them. But Pakistan is definitely going to put up a good fight.
Here comes Wajalatullah. There, brilliant.
Well done.
These chaps, you can just see it. You can just see the preparation in it.
Yeah.
I watched him ride. He was on the podium a few times at the qualifier in Pakistan. Great riders, and then the horses fast. I would say when it comes to handleability, not as well handleable, but all these riders rode them brilliantly.
But excellent riders, well balanced riders.
Quite correct.
I was saying to some of the spectators that I cannot believe the ability and the balance of our international riders. It's something that really stuck out to me.
Yes. And I mean, you've ridden overseas once or twice, but you know, you're not exposed to these riders all the time, and it's nice to see South African public or the South African supporters of 10 pegging to come to see them. They can actually witness it for themselves, you know. There we go.
There we
Oh,
go.
man, as
Another
consistent
full house.
you can make them, these Pakistani riders. That was Taswar Abbas.
He's been very consistent.
He's been very
as
consistent.
well,
And
eh?
then his horse to me is not. He hasn't got the best horse either of the four, but he's been consistent. The horse sort of wants to look around a little bit at the crowd,
Very consistent.
and he's just kept his mind clear, and it hasn't affected him at all. And now we've got Nasser Abbas. They must be family. I haven't asked him, but Nasser and him. He was on the podium the first day. He rode a full house. And I think he was on the podium yesterday too. So he's also one of those riders right up there. He had a glitch, I think, with the rings this morning on the 4 centimeter.
And here
But,
he comes.
here he
Let's
comes.
see.
Unfortunately, I think, the horse not so used to the crowd there. You know, they've moved the gallows over to that end of the track. And I think now all of a sudden 1 or 2 horses are not used. I know that horse is one of the younger horses that comes out of the Eastern Cape stables there. One of the younger horses in the tournament. Has done a few championships, but not as experienced as other horses. So just moving closer to the crowd might have a slight effect there. You could see the horse was slightly
must-
worried about that.
I must say, I like the fact that you see the weight the balance of the rider as he pulled the horse over to the other side when he realized that the horse was coming over.
Yes,
He very nearly brought the horse back in line.
you're quite right. You're quite right. He used his body quite well. He moved
Quite
him
well
in.
to move the horse
Yeah.
the horse back.
And that's a split-second decision you've got to make. And you've only got that split second to make it between the second
Sometimes
gallows
it
and the ring.
works and sometimes it doesn't.
It doesn't, yeah.
I'm
It does
so-
put you off slightly.
It
It does
does.
put you off.
I'm so sad for him because he's been riding very consistent, and this is a typical example of where the rider could do very, very little about the outcome of that peg.
You're quite right. You're quite right. You're quite right.
So we're starting all over now with a 40 centimeter
You're
peg.
quite right. Now we're back with the Saudi team, eh? So,
Yeah, we're back with the
so
Saudi
I
team.
think Pakistan maybe dropped back slightly there. No, they wouldn't have. They would be probably about similar to what they did in the last run. And there, a draw there.
That was a draw on the peg.
7.15. Time.
Time is
I think
good.
they're going to have a look at that pig. It could have. Do you think it could have been a dig out? It sort of flopped over
Yeah.
twice or 3 times, so
Let's
he's having
wait.
a squiz. From here, it looks like a good cut. I see a shake of the head of the judges there, but it looks like a good cut. I don't see what the hassle about, unless he thinks it's ripped out, because sometimes a lemon can rip out of the gallow, and he might think, well, it's not a cut. Very contentious. If you give it 0, you might have a few
You might
few
have a
managers
case.
on your case. Yeah.
Yeah.
Come check it out.
Somebody
Give
might,
their opinion.
somebody might fork up $100 somewhere. And
You're right. Yeah.
right in the
$100 when emotions involved. $100 not much. When emotions are involved, you only realize it afterwards.
The peg was 0, I think. Eh? I heard a 0 there. All the
I actually didn't hear it. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I think he's giving it in. So he's saying, I think he gave a 0 as well. So it
The
was a
other
dig out.
important thing that we need to discuss, Brendan, is on this level, 0.5 points could make you lose the World Cup.
You're quite right. You're quite right. So,
So
speed.
every single point, every single bit of score that you can score, you need to score, because that could affect a win or second, or even
Quite
you could
right.
even drop to 4th place in this competition
Yeah, you're
by
quite right.
losing 6 points.
Yeah, you're quite right. So it actually comes down to how your manager or your coach is going to handle the situation. Knowing the horses you've got, are you going to go for consistency over speed, or are you going to keep the speed and go for gold? If you understand what I'm saying to you. So depending on your draw, and I mean that's what international experience is all about.
Yeah, true.
You know, that's what it's all about.
To
So
our viewers, that peg was a 0 peg. The peg stood dead still there, so I don't think anything happened there. We'll see what the judge.
zero,
That
zero,
was a
unfortunately.
zero.
Yeah. I saw the lemon judge. He indicated they were fine. So We were just expecting to see the result of the peg. And once again, they hand the peg in, so you know there's a bit of a problem there. I still wouldn't mind us knowing what the previous one was. We were busy talking, we missed it. But there, that's Saudi. So they've had a few glitches now, Saudi.
True.
So that's going to give the other teams a bit of a chance. We've still got number 3 and 4 for Saudi. Just want to check the names again for 3 and 4 for Saudi. Rashid has been and Muttal have been. So we've got Abdul Wahab and Hassan Omar. Abdul Wahab Asiri, as I say, he was on the podium earlier in the week. So very consistent. Look at that. Look at the balance on the rider. And it's all about that balance. Got nice little horses riding there. A very consistent speed. Very consistent speed. So it suits him. He's actually quite a light rider. So suits him well, that horse. And it shows.
The combination is just good. Eh?
Combination's very good.
Yeah.
He's been matched up well on his draw. Yeah, we've got a few scores coming through. And yes, these are the day 3 scores, so they're not overall. So we're just going to mention the top 4 there. India, 202. Pakistan, 200. That's after that last run. So there's 2 points in it between India and Pakistan. Saudi, 188. Oman, 181. So there's a competition within a competition.
Yeah.
Saudi and Oman. So we must... and Saudi now just dropped a few points. We'll have a look what Oman do when they come up. Egypt 178. South Africa again, they're just dropping off the pace. But disappointing, dropping off the pace. They were in it. They were 4th after that first event. Ah, look at that. Look at that.
Well done.
Brilliant.
What is that rider's name?
That is... just go up here quickly to my list again. That is Hussain Omar. Hussain Omar from... but both those two, they're 3 and 4 riders. Yeah.
Very young rider, but very experienced. You can see the experience written all over his face.
You can.
You
know
he
what's
rides
interesting?
Aggressive, but his balance is amazing.
You're right.
And he's riding a very fast horse.
Yes, yeah. You know what's interesting? The first two riders have come out 3 or 4 years back, ridden in South Africa, trained in South Africa with coach Leon Venter. Did a lot of, so the 2 back riders are coached by riders that were coached in South Africa. So their development program's working well.
Yeah, you could see that.
You could see that, and using the same technique. So nice to see that coming through. In fact, Leon now is the SA coach, coaching her. Might not be too happy with his performance in the last few days, but yeah, he'll have something to say. And our first rider from Jordan, Ahmed, something. Also, you could see horse slightly unbalanced going down, still finding its feet as if it wasn't steady towards the peg.
Yeah, the balance between horse and rider, and the balance of both horse and rider, is so important in this vital item.
You're right. It's all about balance and rhythm. All about balance and rhythm. There they seem to be querying a lemon as well.
Yes, I can see that.
He might have just chopped it off at the string, just above the lemon.
It looks like a 0.
Yeah, no, they when they moved around like that, it's sort of 0-0. So he's given 0-0 towards the last 2 there. And that, I think, concludes... that was the first rider for Jordan. So we've got our second rider for Jordan coming up. Hussam Fayyad. Hussam Fayyad, we commented him, very smooth rider. In the rings, remember he had that very smooth run. Very well balanced. Sort of a tall, lean fella who rides exceptionally well balanced. Actually also had a very good qualifier in Pakistan. He was one of the top riders, if not the top rider there for that qualifier.
Riding a very nice little horse, eh?
Yeah, very nice. Horse running nice and straight. First one also looks a bit suspect. Nicely there. But they're going to have a look at that first one, I think, that first lemon.
That looks good.
Pegging's good. Everything there looks good. Now looking at now, he's happy. He had a good cut. Just north of the equator on that lemon. But 6 is a 6. You just have to cut the skin clearly, and you get 6 points. Also with a lemon, there's no draw. It's either clear cut 6 or 0. Same as with the rings, either take the ring or you leave it behind. There's no strike, draw, or carry.
Yes, their third rider.
Omar
Is
Salem.
that Omar?
Omar, yes, that's Omar. Hard lines there. We'll check that. Also looks like a bit of a dig out on the peg.
That pig jumped in the sky, jumped into the sky like a deer that's been wounded, eh?
As if it had just been sort of kicked out. 6 0 as we thought. So not a draw. Obviously, again, there just to remind the viewers, you have to make a mark on the peg. Sometimes you tend to go past the peg and it actually digs out. We call that a dig out. And obviously that's a dig out. On camera it might look like a draw, but it's actually 0.
What do we have now? Our fourth and final rider for the team.
Yes, our last rider. As I say, I think Jordan slightly disappointed after their first day. So they also still, like South Africa, haven't been able to make up the points since then.
Yes, you're right.
He's a bit unlucky now. It looks like the wind's picking up. We just had a nice little warm spell for 5 minutes. And now the wind and the weather picking up again.
The weather is so unpredictable. You just cannot believe it.
That's for sure. Definitely sort of like a coastal weather effect to this competition here. There we go. Oh, brilliant. Horse running. He was smooth.
That was easy.
Easy. Makes it look easy.
What does that last lemon look like? It's right in front of
I think it's rolled. Roll's never a good sign.
Yeah.
We'll just have a look there. They'll pick it up. Yes, no, he's saying it's fine. He's not even going to show it to the judges. It's good. We can see from here.
Yeah.
Looks well cut.
Well cut. It's got a very clear cut mark on it, so that's all that you need to make sure that you earn your 6 points.
You're right. And now we come Team South Africa. Let's see full house. Traditionally, on the 4 centimeters, we've been battling this specific competition. So, but they can make up some points. They're playing for pride now, Hannes. I think.
I am sure that the South Africans are going to try their very best right now.
And Burger, perfect cut on the lemon, perfect centre.
Perfect run.
He just looked better balanced than that these last few runs.
But did you see his weight was right up in front, eh?
Yes,
his balance was very much in front, and that made him a lot more balanced on the horse.
You're quite right. And also, he's one of the unlucky. He had to draw a horse this morning again. His horse last night was maybe a bit lame or not so well. So the vet committee actually withdrew the horse from the competition this morning. So he could only have one run on that horse this morning, dry run with no weapon, just to feel it out, and then he's forced into the competition with it. So to have a run like that, it shows a bit of experience. Well done there to Burger.
And this is Beverly, his wife. She is also in the national team, coming on her bay.
She definitely a bit of Durbanite there. You see she's getting a bit cold. Beautiful. There we go.
Done.
That's how it should be done. Well done. Maybe a bit of time. I'll be interested to see what the time says there.
I think the horse is slightly slow.
Yes.
7.61.
7.61.
Penalty 0.5.
Should have a time penalty there. 0.5 time penalty. I think we assumed that when we saw the horse come past. But let's go for the constants. Let's go for the points and not worry about the speed. That would also be my pull on that one for this specific run.
I'll take the time penalty any time of the
You're
week.
quite right. Especially on the 4 centimeter. Last time behind, remember we said he pulled his horse over slightly.
Yes,
So
you're
he's
on
a bit
your line.
unlucky. So he's got there. Brilliant balance on the lemons. Just not working for Johan this week. Just not working for Johan. He's such an incredible rider. He's been an incredible rider for South Africa. But he just hasn't been on his game the last 3 days. He's usually sort of the chap to count on, captaining South Africa this time.
And that was a 0 on his peg.
Hot lines there to Johan now. And Armand
Armand
also
is
needs
a-
to make up for that peg in the first one.
Yeah, he
I'm
also
sure.
missed his peg in the first
You're
round.
quite right, yeah, and he wants to show you want to make up for that one.
Knowing him as a person, he will be out there to try and prove
Yes,
that
you're right,
he's
you're
going
right.
to carry the second peg. I know
Yeah.
him well. I can think we can look out for a good run. And
Yes, I'm sure. Look, now Armand well as well. So we were in the Defence Force together, rode for SA Defence
Yes, for
Force
many years
for
ago,
many years,
eh?
yeah. So we actually rode against each other as junior riders, so we know each other very well. Yeah, good friend.
good friend and a good mate, eh?
Yeah, and his pairs partner up in
Conrad.
Pretoria, Conrad. Yeah, we rode together. Rode for Eastcore Newcastle with Conrad as well. So know them very well. Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually amazing to just think that after all these years, good old army mates are still
Still riding and
sharing
still sharing the same passion.
eh?
Yeah, it is.
Unbelievable.
It is. Yeah. In fact, 3 of us from the Defence Force team are all still riding, which is quite incredible. Yeah.
Well, that just shows you, eh?
But Armand, yeah, I know there's been a bit of a stoppage while we've been talking. I think they were just fixing the peg there.
Well,
We
let's
know
see
Armand,
what
he'll want to
let's
fix it
see
up.
what
Yeah.
he does.
Very smooth there on the lemons. Brilliant.
Well done.
As I said, look at that. There we go. Well done, Armand. Very well done. What you saw there is the rhythm was there. As soon as the rhythm was there, it was in. Yeah.
Yes, Armand.
South Africa still fighting for
Riding with him for
positions
many
today.
years in my section
He,
as
he
well.
rides for
you
your
know.
he rides for your local
ride-
club team, am I right? Yeah, he
Yes.
rides for your club team.
And I could see when he struck that second lemon, I knew he's gonna hit the peg. You could see the rhythm, the rhythm. I'm
rhythm.
stumbling over my own tongue here.
Rather
you
your
could
rhythm
see it.
out than his rhythm.
But yeah, you can actually see this from a rider, you know, especially riders that you know. You can see when they carry the peg and when they miss the peg.
You're quite right. You're quite right. Yeah.
Up front.
Well, good. South Africa. Just I think Bev with her Blaps. It's just her, eh? In that. I know Jan as well. Jan, sorry.
Yes.
Jan, sorry. It was Bev. Bev that had just a time penalty.
Yeah,
there.
they're hanging in there.
They're
eh?
hanging- they're trying
hanging
hard.
in there and They're trying their best.
And there, Mr. Almari from Oman. Oh, making it look easy. Eh? Long levers on him there. He gets to the peg quite easily.
0.46.
But as you say, slightly different pegging style, but effective. Effective.
Well, that just, you know, in South Africa we tend to focus a lot on the
Total
style
score, 18.
and looking
That
at
was our
this
first rider from
and
Oman.
our international experience. Maybe style isn't all that important.
You
Next
say,
is
yeah,
number
maybe
17.
not.
It's more important to
Ahmed
carry the
Farasi.
objects and make sure that you score points
You're right. Yeah,
than
you're
to
right.
focus too much on style.
On style, yeah.
and
Well, it's
miss.
all about points, isn't it? Eh? All about
Well,
points. Points and technique. Eh?
And
Points,
technique, yeah,
technique,
true.
Technique. Technique and balance is there. It's all right. The style's got to.
but at the end of the day, we all share the same passion for the sport. Although we don't all ride exactly the same
way.
It's just so nice to just be at one event and just see the riding styles and techniques from all over the world.
You're right. Yeah. Al Racy, he's got sort of very sort of bent over style, but works for him. Just there, might have. We'll see what they
That's
say.
not an easy horse he's riding. Let me tell you
You're
that.
right. Yeah. You sort of know the horses over there from your area.
Yeah, he's a difficult customer and he runs at quite a speed.
Two there for the pig. So he got a 2 there. So it's not all doom and gloom for him. 6.62. So a good score. Remember, Oman and Egypt are fighting sort of their mini battle, if I can remember, between each other because they're very close. There's only 7 points between Saudi and Oman. And so far, Oman just the 4 down. So let's see what the other 2 riders do.
This could be a good run for a good event for them.
Yes. And as I said, this is traditionally
rider
events where
number
South
18.
Africa sort of imprinted themselves on the competition. And now, with the world getting better and better and better, they're sort of caught up, you know. So they don't give you that opportunity anymore.
Abaloshi.
Because traditionally, they were more in-ground peggers and not gallow peggers, you know.
True. Look, the gaps all over in the world. has narrowed down to nothing.
You're right. You're right.
It's so competitive.
Oh, look
now.
at that. Full house.
That's a full house.
It's a full house.
Brendan, it's so competitive now out there. You cannot afford not to be good at in-grounds or not to
Yes.
be good at overheads.
You're quite right.
Overheads, ladies and gentlemen, is the gallow items that we did the rings this morning, and there are lemons now. This equates to roughly half of the competition points, but one cannot afford to not be a specialist at all the items. You need to make sure that you are performing at your top
Top level all the time.
all the time.
You're right. You're 100% correct. And we saw it out of the qualifiers. And I think maybe South Africans, bit of a bad competition, but look, they did very well in Sudan. They actually won the qualifier.
And we've got a bit of sun
Points were
going
high,
through.
so just maybe down on the specific competition. You have those competitions, at the stage, and you just got to work through them. It's not all doom and gloom.
There's still a lot of things that can still happen between now and the end of the competition.
You're
So
quite
we
right.
must really just enjoy every single moment of this.
You're quite right.
There was another
There we go,
good run.
Safwan.
Looks
We were
good.
just commenting on Safwan earlier, saying he did so
Still
well
missed the
yesterday.
consistency, eh?
Mr. Consistency, yeah.
Yeah.
Quite happy to go
Ex-
through at a smallest place, take the time penalty and just get on with business. And I must admit, they've got a very experienced coach in Manzoor Al-Maruki. He's been coaching them for years, so very experienced. Been to South Africa often, been all over the world. In fact, he's one of the head coaches in the ITBF, so they're in good hands. Got Yemen coming up now. Yes, Yemen follow up Oman. Abdullah Al-Maghibri. He hasn't had his best day today. Let's see what he does in second run. First run, I remember, it didn't go well from there. There we go. He made better on the where it's more difficult. He performs better. So
And the horse has been doing an incredible speed down here
yes.
on the track. I'm not sure what the time was, but it was really looking very fast from the side.
Rider number 23.
Oh, you're right. And he did well. It was 18 points. That's all he needed to do. It was 18 points.
No time penalty. That's all you want.
Yeah, that's
a
all you want.
perfect score.
And actually, I don't know if it's just
Unofficially,
because I'm seeing it now, but are they doing better on the 4 than the 6 centimeter peg? Most of these teams, they seem to be more consistent.
It seems so.
Just more concentration, yeah. Or maybe the weather's just a bit better, because the first run the weather definitely wasn't playing ball.
South Africa with 239. That's unofficial.
Also, just to mention to the viewers, we have an appeal committee also available. So when a rider or a manager happens to appeal a decision by the ground jury, it goes to an appeal committee, and the appeal committee, for us is 2 internationals on the appeal committee. Lena Zain, she's the president of the Lebanese Question Federation. She's here on our appeal committee, together with Sultan Badar Aziz from Pakistan, and then the South African on the appeal committee, Mr. Pat Forster, also a board member of the ITPF. So good hands. If you appeal a decision, you can trust that they'll make sure the right decision is made. As we see, that was a 0 by our second rider for Yemen, which is Abdul Aziz Omar. Abdul Aziz unfortunately missed the peg there. Consistency has probably been Yemen's biggest fault. Just hasn't been consistent.
Not being consistent all the time.
You're quite right, yeah. But he has that young rider we commented on earlier.
What's his name
He's
again?
actually Osama. I see on our list they've maybe doubled 2 names, but his
Yeah.
name's actually Osama. This is one of the riders I said definitely look at him for the future. And he'll be gaining some great experience here. You see he's very well balanced on the horse. Easy as that. You just see it. The horse doesn't even move left or right when he pegs. He's solely balanced over the front shoulders of the horse.
Very much so.
So very, very so.
Very much so. Very comfortable,
Very
very,
comfortable, yeah.
confident in the way he rides.
Yes, yeah.
You see that
confirms
from a mile away.
Yes,
Good
yeah.
run.
Very, very nice.
for Yemen.
You'll see a lot of countries stop differently. We tend to want to stop straight. We
Last rider.
prescribe our riders to stop straight. With other riders, maybe just veer off slightly, but
Last
nothing
rider
bad.
for Yemen, number
They all wait
24.
for each other there. So yeah,
Al-Bastari.
different
Wow.
sort of techniques, different
Also,
interesting to see what different countries actually do when they get there.
Well, whatever rocks your boat.
I suppose so. Yeah. There, close. That is Bilal. If I'm not wrong, they've swapped horses. Bilal was riding the dog bay earlier, which is allowable. You're just not allowed to swap a horse within a competition, but between lemons and rings, you as riders can swap horses within your team. No problem. You just have to complete a specific competition with a horse. You can swap riders and you can swap horses at any time. Quite within the rules, and I think I've picked that up there. I see Bilal's riding the Appaloosa.
The
He just came
Appaloosa.
past it. He was riding the dog bay. Is riding at number 1, the black.
Yeah, look, that Appaloosa is not an
Number
easy.
26,
It's not an easy
Mahmoud
ride.
He's fast too.
He's fast. He's a difficult customer. Definitely not an easy ride. But we've got
Ladies and
experienced
gentlemen,
riders
it's gonna
out
be
here
close.
today.
Yeah.
Best in the world. So let's just enjoy
It's gonna
the
be close. Who's going
the
to be
techniques
taking the
that we
World
see
Cup?
Yes.
being dished up for us.
Some background information on Bilal. He's also black belt karate. So
Holy
he's quite
smoke.
he's quite a nimble oak.
Here's the Norway team.
Yeah, here's your team. Honestly, hardlines. They had a very good first run, if I can remember.
Yes.
Brilliant. So you'll be disappointed with that. That would be Mamun, if I'm not
That's
correct.
Mamun. It's the two Akram brothers. That's Mamun that's just gone by.
And be followed by his brother. Nice to be pegging with your brother overseas in the World Champs. What can be better? Although it looked like they're going to query one of the first lemon. I see the judge Rafat Al-Wad is
He's
bringing
got
up
the
the
lemon
lemon.
in. He's got the lemon in his hand.
Yeah, he's going to check it out there.
Brown.
It doesn't look happy. They're going to mark that lemon. So I think
Selected,
always going to give it to the ground jury president to make a
They're ruling on it.
to make a final decision. What happens is that you have a track judge, you have 2 track judges, or a track judge and his assistant, or this is Fahad at this stage, and then you have your ground jury president who makes the final decision in any cut like that. So that lemon can be viewed by a manager at the jury box. If they're not unhappy, they can appeal it, go to the appeal committee. We hope that doesn't happen. It usually takes time out of our program, but it's
I
necessary
must-
for fair play.
I must say, looking at the World Championships, if I'm not mistaken, I can recall 2 queries that we've had over the 3 days, which makes it exceptional.
Yes, you're right. And then one was upheld, and one was not. So
Yes.
yeah, it was fair.
That was a 6, and it seems to be a 0 on the peg. Let's just wait for the final
Yes.
decision.
They're definitely happy with the 2 lemons.
Marie Bakker.
0,
6,
unfortunately. 0, yes, unfortunately 0 on that peg there.
Unfortunately, a 0 on that peg.
And also on the track at this moment, you'll see a gentleman. His name's Abid Tarin. He's what we call the technical delegate. ITPF send out, let's say, he's the ITPF watchdog. He makes sure that the whole competition is according to the rules of the game. Very professional gentleman. I don't know if you've met him, Anas.
No,
Nice guy to know. Very professional.
that's a
He works out of Qatar. He's actually was the ex-Secretary General of Pakistan Equestrian Federation. He's now working for Qatar Equestrian Federation, but an exceptionally professional gentleman. Good to have him here. Good to have that caliber of person here. He's got a lot to do with the Asian Games coming up now in China. Taking Qataris out there, so a lot of experience within the tent pegging also we can get from the other equestrian sports.
Well, it's actually so nice to just see that the whole tent pegging family all over the world is taking hands and just enjoying what brings us together, and that's tent pegging.
You're right, you're right. Our name's that Maria.
That was Maria.
She had a full house in her first run, didn't she?
She did.
You're quite right, yeah. So she's probably being but disappointed with
She will. Let's.
that peg.
Maybe that peg has a mark on it.
Unfortunately, yeah. It looked close, looked like a brush. from
Yeah.
far, but yeah, it could have been just as well a strike.
Yeah, it could. And then our last rider is Hussein.
Yes, yeah, Hussein.
Last
Yeah.
rider.
Hussein also had that good run the first.
Just now,
Yes.
he had the two nice cuts on the lemon. He missed the peg.
You're right,
Let's see if he is able to to give us a better performance in this second run on the 40mm peg.
And in terms of the Norwegian team, he's the least experienced of them.
Yes,
if I'm
he
correct,
is
yeah.
the least experienced. He's still a student in Norway.
Oh, great. What is he studying
He's
there?
studying business economics.
Oh, great. Yeah.
So a very interesting gentleman.
Okay.
That's a 0 on the second peg, on the second
Yeah,
lemon
unfortunately.
and on the peg.
He's disappointed. You can see,
Yeah,
can see on the back end, very disappointed with that second lemon or the pig. I'm not sure, but he's disappointed.
It's always so heartbreaking to stand where we stand. And you can
Yes.
see the faces
Yes.
of the riders as they miss something, and the absolute enjoyment when they have a perfect run.
You're
eh?
quite correct. You actually see the expression in some of their faces.
Unbelievable, eh?
Yeah. It's all about emotion and controlling those emotions
Yes.
together with the techniques. Yeah, it makes it interesting. All sports are like that, I suppose. All
Very
all got
difficult.
that then.
Very difficult to ride poker face.
Yes, you're right. You're quite right. I think only the cold gives you a poker face. When you got a lot of cold, yeah, nice again. Crowd moving in again all year from the George show.
Yes. Now
Must
we
mention George, Visit George campaign. The George Tourism Office has done a lot for tent pigging here. And George, must thank them. Oh, it's been great, great being involved with that
Brendan,
team of people.
Now the excitement is going to start all over again. We have India, Egypt, and Pakistan,
Oh,
the
here we
last
go.
three teams.
Here we come. Three.
That's
And the weather's
first
turning
India,
just to
and
make
the
it
weather
interesting.
as well.
Weather's turning just to make it interesting. Oh, I think you see, he looked away from that second lemon. He even looked back.
Yeah.
I think he knows when
I
a
think
when a
he
rider
knows.
looks like that, he looked back.
He knows he missed that
Yeah,
second
he's
lemon.
just sort of swinging in the wind there. So
Yep.
we'll see what that comes. It'll be interesting.
That
the
could
judges
cost him
moving up.
dearly, eh?
He could quite, especially now. It's so tight.
It's now very
It
tight.
is so tight.
Every single point counts now.
Yeah, we said what is that last result that we got in? I think there's only 2 points in it, if I can remember. Well, anyway, we'll have a look now. We've got so many scorecards, we can't keep up. But there's only about 2 points in it.
Yeah, it's not a lot in any case.
Yeah, they'll bring through the scores there.
But believe me, every single point counts
Yeah,
now.
this is going to go down to the relay event.
It is.
It's going to sort them out. The relay event, I mean, there's going to be those points on offer and they've got to take them all, otherwise it's going to be over.
Well, let's see what is going to happen now.
Second rider, as I say.
Second
Just
rider.
unfortunate for them, this weather's turning.
That's 2 sixes.
And there he goes, another miss. Oh, you can see the disappointment. He just looked forward. He didn't want to look back.
Yeah.
So he knew exactly what
And
happened
that
there.
was Mr. Consistency in the
Yes,
team, eh?
you're right. Yeah.
What's his name?
It's Ahmed Chetty.
Ahmed Chetty.
Yeah, Ahmed Chetri.
Chetri.
0 on the pig, unfortunately, for Ahmed.
Shame.
Yes, well, this
He
weather's
was
going to
very
influence.
consistent, eh?
Yeah, very consistent. Well, they were consistent over the last run. All 4 riders.
Yes.
Very difficult to split between them. They've been all consistent. So 12 points down there, Hannes. We can maybe make a mental note of that.
Let's try and remember
12
that.
12 points. They're down. They see what the Egyptians do in between them and Pakistan, because India and Pakistan, and I'm sure, have now moved up to final contenders with the Saudis. Saudis might have just dropped themselves here at the last minute.
Well, those are the 3 teams: the Indians, the Pakistanis, and the Saudis, and maybe dark horse Egypt. But
Yes.
but those 3 teams, I don't think there's a lot in it for them. That's a 6-6. And a 6.
Brilliant.
Very
Yeah, he's
well
also been
ridden.
very consistent on that horse.
Well ridden.
Very, very consistent. Great riding on the sorrel there.
You can see the enjoyment on that face.
Yeah, Mohit Kumar. But all of them, as I said, the Indians are one of the teams that really impressed me with their professionalism here.
That was number 35, Kumar.
And
Their
it's
last
showing-
rider is Mohammed.
33,
Yes, Mohammed
Abriri.
Mohammed Abbar. He came to actually tell me that we've been
Abbar.
pronouncing his name wrong for 2 days. if I wouldn't correct it. So
Listen,
for
mate.
Mohammed Abar.
Listen, mate. These are tongue twisters. Eh?
Yeah. I think Indians still are right, but when it comes to the Middle East countries, you can get a few tongue twisters. You got to think twice when you read their names. But yeah,
I've already had some tongue exercises second to none this morning.
yeah, that's for sure.
Yes.
So our last rider there, Mohammed
last
Abar for
rider.
India, and they've done well. Well, they've I say 12 down. We've made the mental
yeah,
note of
yeah,
12 down. So we'll see what they do here. He'll be looking for a full house. Oh, just passed. I don't know if they just shout of joy or shout of what.
That
but
was
he's
a shout of
disappointed.
sheer frustration.
Very frustration. 12 points.
Frustration.
So
That
they've
was
left 18 points. They've left 18.
6-0.
They've left 18 points on the ground. So let's see. Pakistan, I'm sure the manager there, you can see him in the corner. He's had a good squiz at this.
That was the last rider.
Well,
just-
he knows
just behind
exactly.
there.
He knows exactly
He knows
what he
exactly
needs.
what's going on. They actually, I think Pakistan would like to create a slight gap before relay, just to
Yeah.
give them that
That cushion. eh?
cushion, yeah, before the last event.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, this will be Egypt lining up for their last run on the 40mm
Mustafa Idris.
I see the riders ready there. Just have a note. Oh, just a
I
slight
think he's just
niggle
calming his
there.
horse. Oh.
Yeah, the horses are also becoming very excited, and the rain is coming down once again.
Yeah, unfortunate. Yeah, getting the weather back again. Oh, he's doing well, Mohammed. He was close, but close, but no cigar there for
Not easy.
Mohammed. Yeah.
Not easy, ladies and
Yeah.
gentlemen.
Yeah, slowly. You sort of pegged Egypt up here a bit earlier this morning, and they slowly also maybe falling behind now.
They are.
They just needed those one or two full houses to stick, and they haven't stuck
Yes,
them.
They haven't.
Where
They
the
haven't.
Indians and the Pakistani teams have managed to make them stick. Been very consistent there.
They have.
That's probably been the feature of it all for them.
Well, consistency.
Yes.
Consistency, the balance, the rhythm has been very good as well. Yeah, and we all know about the hand-eye coordination. It's
Yes,
just
yes.
that fraction of a second that you are there or you're not there.
You're right. And I think they understand our hand coordination well. I mean, they're all cricketing backgrounds, all that type of thing. So it's natural for them, that part of it's natural for them. It's all about balance after that.
Yes.
Yeah, we've got that first one, also just a bit of a drop on it. Interesting to see.
I saw that pig move slightly, so it will be interesting to see if there was a strike or a two scored on that pig.
I think that first lemon as well. Oh, I see. It's been picked up by the judge there. He's having a good squiz. I just saw it drop. When you see a lemon drop like that,
then
you know there's
it
it's
could
maybe
be a problem.
cut a bit high. It's been cut a bit high. If it's been cut at all, maybe knocked from the back. He's actually looking at both of them. But the second one, I'm sure, was pretty clear cut. It's just the first one that might be a problem. Definitely.
Both.
They haven't. In fact, I see. We can't see it clearly from here now, but the lemon actually had a slice. He just hadn't cut the skin. So you probably find he's buttered it. Slightly buttered it.
True.
On the second one. So to the viewers, if you don't know, your butt on your sword sometimes gets in the way, and it doesn't cut it properly. He's actually used his forearm to butt it, and he hasn't cut it. So and it hasn't cut through. So that's and sometimes the lemon bursts there, and you see there's no clear cut. And one thinks it's because it's burst, it's cut. You sometimes get the benefit of the doubt, but some riders can sometimes use the burst to help themselves out there. That usually happens when you're a little bit nervous and you're a bit desperate.
That was a 060.
Okay, so they gave him the second one. They gave him the second one. Yeah. I was worried there it might be in a bit of a butt on the second one.
Right, this is the number 3 rider, I think.
Just coming back to that last rider, that horse seemed to be pulling a bit heavy in the muddy track, going down to the peg. This last rider that's just gone through, he just seemed to be pulling a bit heavy in the mud track. remember the conditions underfoot for the horses aren't easy either. We've had some rain overnight, so here comes our down cut specialist. I still say that second one looks still a bit down. Judges are happy with it though. It's not for us to decide. But definitely not a flat blade on the second. You need to come from left to right and from right to left. You may not down cut in the rules.
Yeah, and that's definitely our opinion.
Our opinion only. Yeah.
But we've got an excellent view from here.
Yeah, we've got the view from the back. Yeah. Maybe not the view that the judges got there, but yeah, we can see it coming at us.
Yeah. Creating our own judges platform.
Yeah, I'm sure on the footage we'll have some debate afterwards as to how it was. But yeah, great. 6 is a 6. It's in his books. Well done. He's got his 6. It was a good run.
Well, that's why there are always judges involved.
You're quite right. Yeah. Do you see him palm the sword there going down? He changed his grip.
He's changed his grip.
That is actually not very good technique, because sometimes it doesn't work for you, changing your grip on the way to the peg, especially at that speed. But it worked for him there. He got it. He's actually got one of those slightly bent swords, so he actually palmed it to the back to get a better grip with the sword.
On the sword.
Pity sometimes you don't have a slow motion replay. You can show viewers that he re-palmed. No, and in normal circumstances, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just it creates a bit of inconsistency in your technique, so you don't really want to palm the sword on the way down to the peg. And now our Pakistani team, the one I've sort of got my money on for the last half an hour or so, been very consistent. See the coach down there at the bottom. Obviously he's made the calculations. He's a bit nervous now, I'm sure. He knows exactly what he expects.
Well, can you think?
Look at the discipline in the team there, Anas. Yeah. You can see they're just working together. There's talk. They know exactly what they need to do. I wouldn't mind the camera just got in there and just could show us that.
Unbelievable. And and I know at this moment of time, not one of those riders are saying anything.
Yes.
They're just focusing on what they need to come and do. At this level, believe you me, nothing is said, nothing is. Everybody just knows what is expected.
Conditions a little bit difficult.
6.
Down there, 6 points.
6 points down.
Well, they're going to make it interesting. It's not going to be easy till the last peg's taken. It's a little bit of a suspect technique on that first lemon. Did you see it? You're slightly straight in the arm.
Yes.
The rules also say you're not allowed to push it. You need to move from left to right. Judges overlooking that slightly, maybe.
Yes, and remember the rider was up with a hand, probably 20 meters before the first object, not making a cutting action, but just placing the sword in line with the lemon. Something we would actually want to start seeing is seeing the cutting motion.
Yes. You're quite right there. He was sort of a bit still, but they've let it go. I'm sure they've given him. But the peg stayed behind, so there's 6 points on this. And this is that young, talented rider we're speaking about, Wajalatullah. Also out of the 10 pegging academies there in Pakistan.
6.
But you could see he was a bit forward there. He dropped in just in front of that peg.
I think his balance wasn't all that good.
You're right.
It seemed that he was dropping onto the peg there.
I think he got left behind between the gallows.
Yeah.
You could see there was a definite split in his balance, and that 12 there, so obviously 0 for the peg.
0 for the peg.
Definitely got, and that is this little bit of wind that came up. And the riders, I don't think they're so used to riding in the wind.
And remember, it's all the pressure as well. It's all a combination of all the factors that makes riders do things like that. But
right.
The conditions are there for everybody, and I think it's just pure pressure. Now this next rider is also doing exceptionally well. I've been watching him throughout the competition. It's worth looking at him.
You're right, and the horse hasn't also run as consistently as he should, but he's done so well on it. Look at that,
there.
look at that. Yeah,
Once again.
brilliant.
Brilliant.
He sort of surprises you every
Brilliant
time when he gets to the peg,
Yes.
because the horse is maybe not as consistent as he should be. And yeah, great riding. But he's well balanced, I suppose. That's what makes the difference for that rider. He's very well balanced.
Very well balanced. Eh? When he started going down for the peg, you could
sort
see
of
the
knew it.
balance.
Yeah.
You
Same
could
when
just
we
see
saw Armand, we just saw
Yeah.
it go down. We said, listen, you can immediately see
it. Yeah,
the rhythm's
balance.
there. It's going to work.
Yeah.
It's all about that. And there, last rider for Pakistan. It'll be interesting to see. I'm pretty sure they're going to go for a lunch break and they'll bring up the final scores, and we'll be going into what we call relay, lance and sword, where the riders actually follow each other
Yeah.
using the equipment.
Well,
very
I'm
interesting.
sure the track, they'll loosen the soil and so on. Oh, shame.
Shame that all slowing down slightly on him.
Slightly.
Kept him out of rhythm, but 0 there. We can pretty much judge it from here that there's a 0 on the peg.
0. Yes,
Great.
Brendan, this means that Pakistan has actually fallen back slightly.
They could have. It'd be very interesting. Unfortunately, we don't do maths that quickly, yeah, boss. So we'll go to the official scorecards and we'll come back after lunch, I think, with
Yes.
some great scores.
Ladies and
And it's
gentlemen,
going to be very interesting.
so enjoy your lunch, and we'll be back and talking to you when as soon as the competition starts again. It's going to be very, very exciting. I think it's all coming down to the last event, which is going to be a relay, where the horses run one after the other, and the first run is on the lance and the second run is going to be on the sword. So we are really going to be having a very exciting finish for this World Cup coming up probably within the next half an hour. So stay tuned, don't go away for too long. We'll talk to you just now.
And another thing is that first peg's going to be on the 4 centimeter. Going to
you're
make it
right.
interesting. They're going to
Yeah.
have the lance with the 4 centimeter, then
Lance
they're going to be going to that 6
the
centimeter
sword.
pick, and then that'll let's say that's going to separate the mice from the men, as I said. So
Yeah, we're
Yes.
just going to make sure that we have all the scores and up-to-date scores. And believe you me, we are going to
we're in
keep-
for Humdinger.
This is going to be excellent 10 picking at its best.
Thanks. We'll see you after lunch.
into the Christian family, so that on that day of Christ's coming, she may be clothed in glory. Please let us stand.